keeping the trade strong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SPEC MIX BRICKLAYER 500. We are ready to answer the question once again, just who is the world's best bricklayer? 3, 2, 1, let's lay some brick, everybody, come on! He is the world's best bricklayer.
The SPEC MIX BRICKLAYER 500 supports dedicated organizations and individuals who contribute to keeping the trade strong.
On my right, Bryan Light. He was a mason contractor for over 30 years. He's currently the technical services manager for the brick industry for 9 southeastern states. And Bryan, you really play an important role in what goes on in this industry and helping everybody keeping the trade strong. Talk to me a little bit about the brick industry itself and what you're doing.
Well, Tom, it's something that's very dear to my heart for sure. Quality of our craft. If that begins to slide and suffer in any way, we're all going to be in trouble. So, and you know, it's a profession that I got in to make money, but the pride factor is pretty big there. But let me just start by saying, as you know, I think you're from the South too, maybe, but that segment, as all over America, both commercially and residentially, construction's been hit pretty hard. And it seems to me that one of the first things, the knee-jerk reaction is, let's cut back on training, and we can't afford to do that, even though I realize money's tight. But you wouldn't believe how many schools that have a masonry program, as their instructor gets retirement age and steps back from working every day, they just close down the shop, put a bolt on the door. They're not training guys to come along as instructors, just shutting programs down because of lack of funds, both you know, nationally and from state level.
I think we know that Masons really literally built this country, and you know, the theme we have today, keeping the trade strong, is really important, and it's critical to have those teachers and you know, to keep up that integrity.
Yeah, I agree. There's several levels that I have the privilege of working with, high school and post-secondary level. I run a national contest for Skills USA in Kansas City every year, so I get to see the cream of the crop. But what scares me so bad is I also do a lot of inspections in the field when things aren't exactly like they should be, or at least the customer thinks they're not. And I see some things that we could do to improve workmanship in America for sure.
And that's what you're going to be doing as the technical services manager, is overseeing all that. And so really you do have a big hand into the future of this industry.
Yeah, and there's one little area, if you don't mind, Tom, that I'd like to get off into, a personal fear of mine, if you don't mind. As I'm doing inspections, if someone thinks there's an issue with the brick installation, I'll get a call in the 9 southeastern states many times, and I find myself looking back, almost always telling the homeowner or building owner, you know, sir or ma'am, it's not the brick. It's hard to mess up burnt dirt. And it usually isn't the brick. But, you know, my walls are leaking, Mr. Light, and usually it's going to be a flashing problem or maybe something that the mason did wrong, like not filling up the head joints or something. Now, don't get me wrong, we got a lot of great masons in America. The craft is strong, but I'm worried about the future. Who's coming behind these guys? I'm afraid there's going to be a vacuum there. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, I'll say it's not the brick, and I've noticed, you know, okay, maybe the mortar guy comes along behind me. There's an issue with mortar color or something, and he'll say the same thing. You know, ma'am, it's not the mortar. It was tooled improperly or something. And the block guy comes behind me, and there's a crack in the wall, and well, it's not the block, ma'am. There's not enough control joints in it or whatever, something. And I know in my heart that if we say that enough times, it's not the brick, it's not the block, it's not the mortar, which is basically true, that's not good enough. We sell a system, a finished product, everything, all the components have to go in the wall correctly to make a nice energy efficient, watertight structure for people. And I'm worried about the future, Tom. I'm worried about who's going to build the barracks for the soldiers. Who's going to build Doc's house and the schools for our kids and hospitals and things in the future? I mean, masonry is a long-standing trade, as we know, perhaps the oldest, one of the oldest in existence, but and we've done a good job. But I'm just really worried about the economic conditions right now taking a toll on what we're doing with training.
Well, Bryan, I know we'll be looking to you for all those answers, and keep up the good work, what you do, because we know that you take care of keeping the trade strong, and we appreciate you taking the time with us today.
Thank you, Tom.
Bryan Light, part of the brick industry, keeping the trade strong.